The people these blockades are hurting are everyday families. Auto assembly workers, farmers, truckers, and blue-collar Canadians. This morning, I spoke with David Cassidy of Unifor, who told me how badly this is hurting workers.
You have deceived us and lied to us by omission, unjustly enriched yourself and those individuals serving you, and you, jointly and several, have willfully brought mixed war and treason upon the people living here.
On Wednesday, I spoke with Premier Ford, and yesterday with Mayor Drew Dilkins of Windsor to offer the full and continued support of the federal government. I can assure you that the RCMP is working with provincial and local police departments to enforce the law. I can't say too much more now as to exactly when or how this ends, because unfortunately we are concerned about violence. So we're taking every precaution to keep people safe.
Oh my goodness! Look what you did!
Just trampled that lady. They just fully trampled that lady. They just fully...
You have failed to address our grievances. So be it therefore resolved, your representation of us, jointly and several, is refused for cause, your ministerial duties stripped, and your charter revoked.
Good morning, everyone. This is me back with another video. Just showing some older footage from the previous couple of days, but here to give an update. So, the police have already, it seems, is that they've killed the woman who was on a walker, and that was very tragic and sad. And ever since, there's been a escalation of, I guess, protesting. There's some footage that I'm going to have to share now in a minute, but if you can, please take a moment to follow this YouTuber down in the links below, and I'm going to update as the days go by. Please, if you can, help to support this channel. If you can, leave a little donation because it does help. Believe it or not, I'm actually on my 4th or 5th day of fasting. As of right now, I feel fine. I feel clear-headed, but just going through all these stories, it's taking a lot on me, and it would be greatly appreciated to even just support this channel. Just leave a comment in the description box below, and then I can go ahead and report the news more professionally, and I can get up to speed with everything that's going on thus far. And if I can, help to provide some solutions for people on how to deal with this turning of events. It is apparently clear now that Justin Trudeau is, in fact, a dictator, and that he's pushing for these Emergency Act mandates through the police, and that he's not budging to the demands of the Canadian protesters. And this is only going to escalate even more unless something can be done. We want to act peacefully, but I fear that in light of the situation with the death of a woman and several other more arrests by the dozens, including one Canadian pastor, it's not looking too good. But I believe that there could be still a chance for peace if people want to take a moment to pray for the people who have actually gotten hurt during this protest. Pray for those people. We don't want this to escalate into any violence. We just want for people to be heard, have their voices heard, and understand that our leader, Justin Trudeau, is indeed a dictator, and he's not listening to the people. He's not. His heart is not in for the people. If we can actually come together with the police and come to terms with what's been happening, and I'm sure a lot of people have by now, we can see the broader picture, and that we can actually unite against the common enemy. And that's all I have to say about that for now. And please help share, like, subscribe, and thank you very much for listening. And I'll try and follow again as the days go by. Any support would be greatly appreciated. And if you can, please leave a donation, because it will certainly help. And thank you very much. God bless.
Shame on every one of you guys! You do not want to be here! I don't think so. We're not a Canadian anymore. Did you see what you did to that grandma? With that horse. They crushed a grandma with a wheelchair. She had a walker, and you just crushed her. You're abusing animals. Don't talk lies. You are the abuser. She got crushed over there.
What we can see on the ground here is the police look to be gearing up. It looks like the federal government is going to tell the police to go and use violence against lawful protesters. And one way to stop that from happening is Canadians who are concerned about their rights and government overreach to come to Ottawa as soon as you can get here and stand with the truckers. We believe the police are reluctant to follow this. If they follow what the federal government's telling the police to do, it will be an illegal order. It will be unlawful. So if you come and stand with the protesters, it will make it harder for the police to act on what they're being told to do. And it's really important that freedom-loving Canadians get to Ottawa as soon as possible to stand with the truckers and exercise their legal charter rights of peaceful assembly.
We'll be here, guys. Remember, peace is the only way out of this. The only way to win with a tyrannical government like what we have right now is to stand up to them. We can't back down. We've come too far. We have to follow this through. Thank you, guys.
It's just a mask.
It's just 6 feet.
Just 3 weeks.
It's just non-essential businesses.
It's just non-essential workers.
Just gyms, salons, and sporting activities.
Just until we work it out.
It's just a bar.
Just a restaurant.
Just adult care facilities.
It's just schools.
Just to save your grandmother.
It's just until the cases go down. Just to flatten the curve.
Just to keep others from living in fear.
It's just a few more weeks.
Just to keep from overwhelming medical services.
Just places of worship.
It's just singing.
It's just missing the birth of your child.
Just a canceled birthday party.
It's just a wedding.
It's just a funeral.
Just to travel.
It's just 3 months of lockdown.
It's just some stickers on the floor.
Just a one-way system.
It's just temporary plastic barriers.
It's just until we get the vaccine.
It's just an app.
Just for tracking.
It's just to let others know they're safe when you're near.
Just to let others know with who you've been in contact.
Just in some areas.
It's just a government guideline.
Just for your own good.
It's just to protect others.
It's just fact-checking, not censorship.
Just a government mandate.
Just the law now.
Just a scientific fact.
It's just these scientists and doctors. Not those.
Just because of the second wave.
It's just to keep your child safe.
It's just another lockdown.
It's just 4 more weeks.
Just cancel Christmas and New Year's.
It's just school. They can do it from home.
Just to swab up your nose.
It's just so you can keep your job.
It's just for medical information.
Just a jab.
Just a card to store your medical information.
It's just so you can travel.
It's just for your passport.
It's just so you can send your kids to school.
It's just a third jab.
It's just so you can go to a concert.
Just so you can get a driver's license. Just so you can vote.
Just a facility to keep others safe from you.
It's just because of the third variant.
It's just a few more years.
Just for those people.
Just better to keep it this way.
Just because we said so.
It's just your freedom.
It's not just.
It's
Unjust.
Start
Resisting.
Now.
They
Will.
never.
Never. Never.
Never.
Never.
Never.
Never.
Never.
Ever.
Stop.
If you walk into a grocery store and you see products on the shelves, thank a trucker. If you walk into a grocery store and you see empty shelves, thank Justin Trudeau. His policy of vaccine vendetta against our hardworking truckers is going to drive up the costs for our people, drive people out of work, and leave us with empty shelves.
This is a government that has invoked an emergency statute on its own admission on the basis of something that somebody has said. They have no actual violence occurring. They have no intelligence about threats of violence occurring. I'm sure you can work out what the consequences are if this is to be considered a proper use of the Emergencies Act. Now, let's just take a bigger picture just for a moment. I don't want to get too far into this, and I don't want to take up too much time. But just for a moment, consider this. The ideology that is now in place in our political realm is one in which language is being redefined. There's all kinds of terms that don't mean what they used to mean. Racism, for example. But included in that list are some very important terms that are very relevant here, like freedom. Freedom now means, apparently, safety. The rule of law means governments taking control of things for, quote, proper outcomes. And one of those words that have been redefined is violence. Violence can now mean words. Honking has been called violence. And they now are taking that literally. They have said they're proceeding against violence, and what do they have? They have words. They have rhetoric. They have an expression of a political position. And it is that rhetoric, it is that political position that they are afraid of. And that constitutes the emergency. And in a way, you know, it does. It does constitute an emergency for them. Not within the meaning of the Emergencies Act. That does not meet that threshold. But in political terms, you can kind of see how this might be seen by them as an emergency. So I'll leave you with this thought. If this invocation of the Emergencies Act is valid, then governments have the power to declare emergencies and crush any peaceful protest, any dissent that threatens their political fortunes and ideology. And that's not the kind of country we want to live in. Thank you.